Hello and welcome to Loon Lovers Live, where we are chatting with fans of the Game Changers series and upcoming Heated Rivalry TV show. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Anne, and today we are meeting with Rachel Kurzius to talk about her experience with the books and the show.
Rachel was one of the early people to start spouting off about heated rivalry in a Washington Post article that came out quite a few years ago. And then later in an NPR podcast, which I freaked out about, which ended up being quoted on the new cover of Heated Rivalry. So we're really excited to have you.
I'm so honored to be here. And honestly, when you just recited those things out loud, I just like feel like I want to pinch myself. All of those things are very exciting to me.
You're a big deal. Tell us where we can find you on social media.
On Instagram, I'm at Rachel.Kurzius, my name, and on TikTok and X, I'm at curious_Kurs.
Okay.
And where are you from?
I live in Washington, D.C.
When did you first read Heated Rivalry?
So I looked this up because I feel like in some ways at this point I feel like I've always read Heated Rivalry, but I actually read it in the summer of 2022. I was on a road trip and I was just so enthralled by Heated Rivalry, and then the other books in this series that I was like probably the worst co-pilot in a car of all time. Like I was not paying any attention to the road or anything. I was so deep in those books.
I love it. And what do the books mean to you?
I've been thinking about this question a lot, because, like so many of the other people who you've interviewed, I feel like Heated Rivalry and Long Game in particular are what some people refer to as like my sacred text. It's the kind of book that you keep returning to over and over and find different kinds of comfort in them. And I've been really wondering, like, why is that? Like, what is the secret sauce? And I really do think it is Shane and Ilya's relationship. And I think what's so unique about the depiction, and I'm curious what you all make of this, is the thing that strikes me as different about their relationship is how often they are annoyed by each other, and how the fact that they're annoyed by each other makes them really endeared to one another. And I think that in romance, that's actually more rare than you might expect. Like the idea that the same things that are so like frustrating or intransient about your partner are also the things that you adore about them.
That is a really good point, and I don't think I've ever heard that before, but I think you're totally right.
It just makes the relationship feel so lived in, like whether it's with a
Yeah.
lover or a friend, it's like there are just certain things about them. Like maybe it's not good or bad, and in some situations it's annoying, and in others it's actually a strength. But I feel like that comes across so clearly in these books, and there's something really delicious about that, I think.
And I wonder though if this is different because in like male-female romance, we as women get really annoyed at men.
Mm.
And so it doesn't work as well in a male-female romance because you don't want to read about a woman being annoyed by a man.
Annoyed.
Right,
No.
right. It's like I live that. I don't need I don't
But
Right.
need
it,
to read
yeah.
about that. Yeah.
But in a male-male, could be annoyed at each other. I love it.
Right. Right. And it's like the things that they're annoyed about feel relatable in a way. Like you
Yeah.
understand why like none of I think all of them are forgivable, right? They're kind of like
Yes.
value
It's like
neutral
little
things.
nitpicky things.
Yes, exactly. But like I do think that that's love because love is like seeing someone and seeing someone for who they are, including all their little kind of like foibles and picadillos.
I love that. Do you have a favorite character in the book or the series?
I mean, I have a few. I would say in Heated Rivalry, I find Shane just so endearing. I find his journey to self-acceptance really moving. Ilya, I think throughout the series is very clearly the all-star character, right? Like in some ways he's not necessarily the audience stand-in, but he's has this kind of emotional intelligence masked by this kind of rascally exterior that is also really lovely. I would say like honorable mentions for not Hayden, but Hayden's family. Like I love Jackie, I love Hayden's kids, love Hazy. Um, and the coach of the Centaurs, whose name is escaping me, I also
Weeb,
think is great. Yes.
He's great.
but not Hayden.
Yeah. Not Hayden. I mean, like I
Specifically not hated.
yeah, I mean, I don't hate Hayden, but I mean, I would not go so far as to call him a favorite character.
Okay.
That is fair. Jackie is awesome.
Yeah, Jackie rules.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, how about a favorite moment from the books?
This is another one of those really tough questions because I think depending on the mood I'm in, I kind of want to return to different scenes. But overall, tuna melt scene, undefeated. I think there's something incredible about this moment where you see both of their defenses in different ways collapsing. And this is a very like book writerly thing, but one thing that always struck me is that's the moment, right? After Ilya calls Shane Shane, in that moment, in all of their perspectives, you see that they're no longer referring to one another as Hollander or Rozanov. Like in their perspectives, like when they're describing each other, they're calling each other Shane and Ilya. So you see in this like writerly way, Rachel Reid is demonstrating how all of their defenses are really collapsing and they're reaching this new level of intimacy. And also, I just like, I do love tuna melts, and I think it's just really sweet that Ilya is making one for Shane.
It's a capital M moment.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yes, absolutely.
What is your favorite part of the trailer?
Again, like something that I have now rewatched many times. I think the part that made me most kind of like hype for the series was the club scene, because that's the sort of thing that really can benefit from this kind of multimedia, like visual, sound element that you're getting from a television show rather than a book. And it looked so well done in the trailer that it also made me realize I'm like, they're not skimping here. Like this is a legit television show.
It looked
Yes.
exactly like how I pictured it
Yeah, me
in my
too.
Yes.
head.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Jacob. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Seriously.
Um, what are you looking forward to seeing in the show?
So, like, first of all, just the show. I'm so curious to see how all of these characters are rendered in this different medium. But the thing that made me feel really mm, more excited rather than nervous, because I know, for characters you love, the idea of seeing them rendered in kind of this one specific way can foreclose other ways of seeing or imagining them, right? So there's like a
Mm.
nervousness that one could feel, but I don't feel it. And here's why is the showrunner Jacob Tierney said in an interview basically that something that made me feel like, okay, this is a person who truly understands the source material. And it was him talking about how what's so key about the books is the sex scenes because they're integral to understanding the character and plot development. Um, and that's something that has always struck me about Heated Rivalry in particular. You can read a lot of romance novels that are very smut forward, but if you skipped those smut scenes, you could still, it would be a much shorter book, but you could understand everything in the book. That's not true with Heated Rivalry. We are understanding their connection to one another through like their physicality, which makes sense. They're athletes.
Hmm.
Um, and I've just, in talking with so many people over time about the book, it's like my favorite topic is the people who understand and like want to talk about that. I think are people who really understand what I love so much about the book. And so the fact that that's what he sees is just so cool.
I love that. Um, okay, it is time for some rapid fire questions. If you can answer this or that for the following.
Hmm.
Cottage or penthouse?
Cottage,
Hotel or hookup building in the plateau?
hotel. That hookup building is so silly.
That's
Like
so
it's like
funny.
another endearing thing about Shane, but like yeah, definitely hotel.
Um, Real or fake candles?
Mm. Fake. Like I don't want that dock to burn down.
Right.
Tuna melts or burgers?
I think tuna melts for
Mm.
sure.
You do love to.
Yeah, I mean, I love tuna melts. Like in my like, I would rather be eating a tuna melt, and I just think that scene is so iconic.
Um, French or Russian?
Russian in the context of
Heated rivalry.
yes,
Then calling him a lawnmower. Yeah.
yeah, or
Okay.
like a tomato or whatever. And I also just
Yes,
even think that dynamic over um speaking languages with like no accent is another way that they just like rib on each other that makes that relationship feel so lived in.
yes, yes. It's the banter.
Yes.
Top notch. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Rachel, for joining
Oh
us.
my
This has
gosh.
been wonderful. We cannot say thank you enough. We really appreciate it.
Thank
And
you both. Thank you for creating this community where people can talk about this. I feel like one of the thrills of Heated Rivalry coming out on television has been like all of my social media is about Heated Rivalry. And it's like, oh my God, am I in a dream? Like everyone's talking about what I want to talk about. So
Can't
thank you
believe
both so
that.
much for cultivating this.
and
Thanks for
check back
doing that.
soon for more heated rivalry love on Loon Lovers Live.